Hey, what is up, everybody? I know it's been a minute since I've done one of these. I hope that you guys aren't hearing my air conditioner in the background. I hear it, it's loud and distracting, but these things in my ear are supposed to eliminate that sound from the video, so we'll see what happens. So, a lot has been going on since the last time I made one of these videos, and I kind of wanted to unpack a little bit of this stuff. This is a crazy, crazy, crazy time in the world right now. I'm not even going to try to lie, try to front. None of this is what I would deem normal. Although in certain moments in American history, a lot of this stuff might seem very normal. But we're living in this time, and this is the first time in my lifetime. I'm 39 years old, and this is my first time being a part of a moment quite like this. So, um, yeah, so I just wanted to make a few, just give some commentary on a few things. I don't have a script, but I do have a couple topics that I want to touch on that I put on my trusty, busted iPad. I'm actually shooting this from my iPad Pro, so we'll see, we'll see. But anyway, um, I wanted to first of all say there's a lot of elections going on today, Tuesday, June 23rd. So if make sure that you got elect if you've got elections going on in your area, make sure you're voting in them. I know we got elections in New York. I know we got elections in Georgia. I believe Georgia, Kentucky, definitely Kentucky. So just pay attention to all of that. Um, one of the things I've been struggling with recently is posting political stuff on Facebook. Sometimes I feel like I should post political stuff on Facebook because I have a voice that matters, and we all have voices that matters. And then there are other times where I feel like, you know what? I really don't need the headache today. I just want to post to like-minded individuals. That's why I started this group, Blue Crush 2020. Um, but the problem that I found with not saying what's on my mind on my Facebook homepage, my Facebook personal page, is that I think sometimes people might like I hear there's a lot of toxic messages going on out there, right? A lot of messages that are anti-progression, a lot of messages that are like pro-racist, um, anti-abortion. I'm pro abortion, whatever, pro-choice, if that's what the media wants to call it. Um, I don't, and what, and that's I'm gonna go back over that in a second, but yeah, a lot of different things, um, and I don't. If I see something racist, I have to call it what I see it. It's racist, and sometimes I feel like I don't need the headache, but then there are a lot of times where I feel like this has to get out there. So when you see me on the street, you won't come at me with whatever toxic rhetoric you're trying to put out there to me, right? So that's why I've kind of gone back to posting my political views on my homepage. And also, if someone doesn't want to see that stuff, they've always got the option to block me, unfriend me, unfollow me, whatever it feels you got to do. But like I said, I have to. I'm a teacher by trade, and I'm involved in politics by trade too. Politics are my life. Teaching is my life. So it's really kind of hard to stay silent on a lot of issues when I see something like Betsy DeVos making these like god awful changes to the Department of Education, for example. I have to speak on that. It just is what it is. But anyway, so I want to know what y'all's thoughts on posting political stuff to your Facebook pages. Um, just let me know. So one of the things that I posted today was the Trump uh, walk walk ramp walk ad. So this is done by the Lincoln Project. Oh my God, this ad is hilarious. So I did post it in this group. So the ad is very, very funny, but also what I want to talk about moreover is is this the kind of posts we should be the kinds of ads we should be making in this political climate right now. This is a very, very palpable time right now in politics, and one of the things I kind of, I don't, as funny as this ad is, um, I kind of want to get people's thoughts on should should there be ads like this. Now, I've seen some of the Biden ads that are on his YouTube page. I think those ads are very good and effective, and it highlight those ads on his page actually highlight his strengths, right? And why he's a better candidate than Trump. And it really doesn't go into what anything about Trump personally. It talks about Biden's strength, and I think that Biden's ads should focus more on that. Now he does have a few ads that talk about Trump, but most of his ads focus on him. The Lincoln back the Lincoln Project is a super PAC, so they're not directly tied to Biden, but they are very anti-Trump. Their ads range from serious to just downright hilarious. This is one of the more hilarious ads. Um, and I is it hitting below the belt? Yeah, probably. I do think these ads are necessary though, because in 2004, when John Kerry was running for president, there was a super PAC called the Swift Boat Veterans for Truth, and they ran a series of ads just attacking John Kerry. John Kerry, a war hero, a veteran, a guy that has two Purple Hearts. The Bush people were able to make John Kerry look like the biggest punk on the planet. And the Swift Boat Veterans for Truth, they just made ad after ad after ad attacking John Kerry. Um, the Lincoln Project, that's a group of never Trumper Republicans, right? So a lot of them might still have Republican ideals, but they do realize the cancer that is Donald Trump and why he's bad for politics. Um, and I think those ads, in conjunction with the ads that Simone Sanders and her people over on Biden's campaign are doing a excellent job making. So forgive me if I misspoke any in this too, because I'm kind of going a little fast. Um, so yeah, just make sure you're voting. That's our goal for today. Especially if you're a progressive, especially if you're in an area that's having elections today. There are no elections in Pasadena, California right now, so I'm not voting. I'm paying attention. I'm watching the news, reading the newspaper. Make sure you know what's going on these streets, man. That's very, very important. Because if you don't, a lot of things will pass you by. There were two Supreme Court decisions over the last week that went in favor of progressives, but you got to understand, like the LGBTQ health decision, that was kind of almost a no-brainer. There would have been something very, very fundamentally wrong with our courts had that went any other way than what it went. And then there was another decision on on DACA on Dreamers, and that one was almost a no-brainer too. The latter, the DACA decision, was mostly about um, Dreamers um, and their citizenship in this country, and some Obama era provisions that he put in DACA that Trump was just trying to write an executive order and remove. So what the court decided was Trump didn't go about his business in the proper way. So with that said, it wasn't like the Supreme Court is in favor of Dreamers now. It was just like, okay, this is just a little too ludicrous even for us. The same at the with the LGBTQ health question. It was like, okay, pulling this stuff is a little too create wacky even for us. I'm talking about the Republicans. DACA was a 5-4 decision. The LGBTQ health quest decision, I think that was a 6-3 in the Supreme Court, in the conservative Supreme Court. I'm telling you, if Trump gets another term, he will make sure that those laws go the way that he wants them to go. So that's one of the reasons why we cannot have Trump win again. Um, and that is that's the that's the position that I'm on that, right? Um, I've gotten questions about protest votes, and because there's something called with John Bolton in his interview. I didn't hear the portion of the interview where he said that he was gonna write in a candidate. That's all well and good, but to be 100% realistic with you, if you write in a candidate in this election 2020, you got to understand that you are doing that. By doing that, you are saying that no, I don't want Trump to be president again, but I am willing to risk him being the president again, right? That's what a vote for a non vote or a protest vote means. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day in 2020, a Democrat or Republican is going to win the presidential election. The Democrat is Joe Biden, the Republican is Donald Trump. Now, if you're comfortable with the idea that Trump could be president again, then go on ahead and do your protest vote. I've said this in several other videos, but it bears repeating. My job when I'm on the campaign trail, I do not try to convince people to be Democrats. I don't even try to convince them to vote Democratic, especially if your mind is already made up that you feel this way. If you are a pro lifer, if you think abortion is the biggest sin on the planet, if you think a fetus is a life, oh, who am I to tell you any differently, right? Um, I'm a man. I'm never gonna be pregnant in my life, so that's not really an issue I feel that comfortable speaking on. But I am pro-choice just based on the science that I've read. I think that I don't think life starts as a fetus, but some people do, and that's not a debate that I'm ever gonna get in with people. If the conversation starts off with, yeah, abortion is murder, that is when I exit the conversation. If you feel that way, then do what you got to do. But my job is to talk to like minded people that are thinking about not voting and giving them reasons why they should vote, seeing the issues that are important to them, and then telling them, okay, This is why I think you should vote for Biden. This is why I think you should vote for Amy McGrath. This is why I think you should vote for Charles Booker. That's my job, right? My job is not to convince people whose minds are so far off of what I believe in that I'm trying to get them on my side. And that shouldn't be your mission either, man. Do not waste your time with contrarians, with people that are disagreeing with you just to disagree with you. Okay? If there's no point in arguing with a pro-lifer whose mind is made up. It's just an exercise in futility. Just like voting for a third party candidate is an exercise in futility. And the thing with that, when Democrats do not win elections, what happens is that we don't. Joe Biden theoretically can beat Donald Trump by 5,000 votes in a popular vote. He could like Hillary won by I think 3,000 votes in the popular vote. Biden can win by 5,000 votes, and he could still lose to Trump theoretically just because of the way the electoral college works. Democrats have to be more popular than Republicans to win elections. A Democrat has never won a general presidential election without getting the popular vote. We have had two times in two different presidential elections within the last 20 years that Republicans have won by winning the Electoral College and losing the popular vote. It happened in 2000 with John Kerry. It happened in 2016 with Hillary Clinton. So that's a 16-year span that's happened. So you got to understand that. If you protest vote, you are saying, I repeat, you are saying that I am cool enough with this protest vote that if Joe Biden doesn't win, I'll be perfectly good and happy with another Trump run. And if you're not good and happy with it, you're at least at peace with it. And you got to understand that. I can't speak in any plainer English than that. Um, Inbox me if you want to know more, okay? So let me see what else I got. I think those are the main major issues. I've gotten a lot of people asking me, why don't I do more live videos? I want to do more live videos. It's just a lot of the times I don't. This is a me issue, okay? I don't have the greatest confidence in my orating skills, in my oratory skills, in my speaking skills, in my video making skills that I kind of have to get over. And I kind of feel like a lot of times my messages go on deaf ears, even with positive feedback. And all I ever get is positive feedback. Again, it's a me issue. It's just a psychological block that I have in my head. But I will start doing more live videos um, and talking about these issues more. There is one thing I wanted to say about Biden before I go. Um, you have to remember that once you vote for Biden, and if Biden wins, you do have to hold his feet to the fire. And I think what a lot of times Democrats do, or not just Democrats, but progressives in general, we vote for these candidates and then we get mad, we get pissed off when our lives aren't magically better. That is a mistake because you've got to lobby. You got to join a super PAC. You got to join the NAACP. You got to join, if you're a Greenpeace person, you got to join that. You got to join, pro LGBTQ groups. All those democratic groups that are important to you, you got to join one of them. And you got to have a clear cut message to give to Biden. And you got to lobby and do what you can. You know what I'm saying? I give my money right now to at least 7 different super PACs. And I supported during the primaries my top 4 favorite candidates. Joe Biden wasn't one of them, but guess what? That's my dude right now. Joe Biden is my candidate. So, and I got no problem saying that. And if he's not your candidate, I have no problem with you feeling the way that you feel. But for me and my house, because my girlfriend is going to vote for Joe Biden too, we're voting for Joe Biden, right? Because we don't like the alternative. If you got any questions on that, again, shoot me an email. But I think that we got to be very pragmatic with the way we vote. The problem with Democrats, the reason Democrats and Republicans are two different parties. With Republicans have to serve one monolithic viewpoint, and that is Donald Trump's viewpoint. But Democrats, we've got to they, they have to appeal to so much diversity in thought. You got to appeal to Black Lives Matter. You got to appeal to um, anti-gun people. You got to appeal to liberals that are pro-gun people. You've got to appeal to the interests of poor people. You got to appeal to the interests of middle-class people. This is how we work in the Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? Republicans, their issues are very all the evangelical stuff and tax cuts for the wealthy, and that's what they appeal to. So this is going to be an interesting election season. What I want to do is I want to do podcasts with people, and that's my phone. What I want to do is I want to do podcasts people with people who want to talk about these issues, so we could come to some type of resolutions. And yeah, so that's how I feel on that. I do want to check in to see what the comments are on on the video that I posted, just because I'm curious. Um, just because. So let me go in and look at what everybody is saying about the ad that I posted in Blue Crush, the Lincoln Project ad. So, okay. My homie, one of my best friends, one of my road dogs, Dwayne Siddell says, I don't think so. Because I asked the question on, is this the direction that Dems should say to take? He says, I don't think so. I could care less about who can handle a ramp the best. Focus on meeting the demands and the will of the people. Then you can crack jokes after the victory. I disagree, Dwayne. And we can talk about this later. I disagree. I think you got to crack jokes now, and I think you got to crack jokes after the victory as well. I see what you're saying. I don't think the focus should be cracking jokes, but you got to crack the jokes, man, because Donald Trump is going to do it. Jesse Williams Jr., another one of my best friends, he just responded with some smiley faces. Noah Goodfriend, Knoxville homie, he says, "Get savage." Jamal, I say get savage. I agree. And again, I don't think that's the best course of action all the time. In this particular instance, I think the savagery is necessary. And they're not coming from Democrats. They're coming from the Lincoln Project, which are never Trumper Republicans. So I say let them post as much as you can. I've given $25 to those guys already. I'll probably give them another $25. If you're not subscribed to the Lincoln Project on YouTube, subscribe to them. Those ads are fucking hilarious. I love them. That's me. Um, Jamal Kirkpatrick, another high school homie, drag his ass. All bets are off with this scumbag. Agreed. Okay. And then I see Jacqueline Ashley, one of my friends, Dr. Ashley, if you will. I'll be a doctor like you before the end of next year, Jackie. So we'll be colleagues. We're already colleagues, but we'll be like contemporaries, I guess. Um, I feel these ads are the best tactic to dismantling a narcissist's ego. Um, he he's so distracted by what the media and American people think of his image than actually doing his job and holding those around him accountable. And that's the key too. Donald Trump is like gonna get distracted by these ads. I 100% agree with you, Jacqueline, because what it does is it takes him off the scent of what's important. It's the red herring fallacy, right? Is you take the dog is on the trail of what he's trying to get, right? Sniffing for bones or whatever. I forgot exactly how they explained it to me at USC Annenberg, but yeah, so he's on the trail, and then you drag your red herrings on the ground, your smelly fish, and then the dog all of a sudden starts following that trail. And that's what Donald Trump is doing with these ads. So, being a student of USC Annenberg, what I like about those ads too is that the best commercials, what I've learned being a student of USC Annenberg School of Communications, is that a lot of the message that we pass are subliminal messages. So Ja Rule did these very, very goofy ads for this Greek spot off of Pico Boulevard. I forget the name of the Greek spot. It's a good spot though. The ads are goofy as hell, but this is the point of the ad: is you laugh and you say, "Oh, this is goofy," but when you get hungry and say you want to eat Greek food, that ad is going to come in your head. You know what I'm saying? It's just like if McDonald's does a very goofy commercial, and even a silly commercial, but then 2 o'clock rolls around and you're looking for something to eat, and it's like, okay, oh, McDonald's has the 2 for $5 deal with the Big Macs or the quarter pounders or whatever. And you think of that when you're hungry, right? So I like all the ads. I like all the feedback. Thank you guys so, so much for supporting me. Um, if you guys want more videos like this, just let me know. Shoot me an inbox. Comment on this video. But I am here for yous, okay? So peace out. And we'll do this again in a couple days. Peace.